Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Jodie Marie. How are you feeling today? Okay. It's normal to feel nervous on your first session, but I can assure you there's nothing to worry about. Today's session is quite a simple session. I'm just going to ask you a few questions just so it can help me establish the way your personality works and how I can overcome certain problems with you, the best pathways to choose, okay? So really this session is for me, just so I can help you further in the future sessions. Is that okay? Thank you. So for my first question, I'm just going to take some personal details from you if you don't mind. Can I take your name, please? Thank you very much. And your date of birth? And could you just confirm your postcode and your first line of address? Thank you. Yes, of course, you make yourself comfortable on that sofa there. It's up to you if you'd prefer to keep your eyes closed or open. A lot of people during these sessions do keep them open just because they feel a bit apprehensive, a little bit nervous, but because they don't know what to expect. But it's just a few questions, so you just relax as much as you like. And I'll try not to delve too deeply. We won't be doing that today. It's just a little exercise really to get to know each other and for me to get to know you more, okay? Thank you. And just what works best for you so you get the best out of these sessions. Right, so I'm just going to ask you now a few questions, and it's like a self-assessment, and you tell me what best describes you when I ask the questions. Is that okay? Great. So, my first question to you is, when talking to someone, do you A, maintain eye contact the whole time? B, alternate between looking at the person and looking down? C, look around the room a good deal of the time? Or D, try to maintain eye contact but look away from time to time? Okay. And question 2. If you have an important decision to make, do you A, think it through completely before deciding? Do you B, go with your gut instincts? C, consider the impact it will have on other people before deciding? D, run it by someone whose opinion you respect before deciding? Okay. Now you might be a couple of these, but you have to think, which one are you more like? Okay. And some answers may be varied, but the one that's more prominent is the one your personality is. Okay? So, number 3, that's just a bit of background information for you. Number 3, your office, your work area, is it full of family photos, sentimental items displayed everywhere? Or do you have inspirational posters, awards and art displayed? Do you have graphs, and charts displayed? Or are you like a calendar person and you have project outlines displayed? Okay. Number 4. If you are having conflict with a co-worker or a friend, family member, do you try to help the situation along by focusing on the positive? Do you stay calm and try to understand the cause of the conflict? C. Try to avoid discussing the issue causing the conflict. Or D. Confront it right away so that you get the let me get my words out, sorry. Do you confront it right away so you can get it resolved as soon as possible? Okay. Please do let me know if you'd like me to repeat anything. When you talk on the phone, do you keep the conversation focused on the purpose of the call? Spend a few minutes chatting before getting to business? In no hurry to get off the phone and don't mind chatting about personal things, the weather and so on? Or try to keep the conversation as brief as possible? Okay. It is sometimes very difficult to answer these questions because you'd like to believe you were one thing, but actually you're the other. So don't be embarrassed. Just be yourself, be honest with yourself, be honest with me, because it will help us in the future with your sessions, okay? So you get the best out of it, it's best to be honest. Okay. Next set of questions. It's best if I just fold this over. That's better. So if a co-worker is upset, do you A? So if a family member, friend, co-worker is upset, do you A, ask if you can do something to help? B, leave them alone because you don't want to intrude in their personal business? C, try to cheer them up and help them see the bright side? Or D, feel uncomfortable and hope he gets over it soon? Okay. That's okay, yeah? Yeah, any additional information you'd like to add, please do. It helps me. You don't have to stick to these guidelines, that's fine. Thank you. When you attend meetings at work, conferences, anything like that, do you A, sit back and think about what is being said before offering your opinion? Do you B, put all the cards on the table so your opinion is well known? C, express your opinion enthusiastically, but listen to others' ideas as well? Or D, try to support the ideas of other people in the meetings? Okay. Right. Yeah. Thank you. So, I don't know if you've ever had to do this, but if you have had to, when you make a presentation in front of a group, or if you haven't ever made a presentation in front of a group, if you have like spoken to your friends in a group, you've been the one that's had to organise a party or organise any trips, any day outs within the family or friends, if you've ever had to speak in a group or make a presentation, would you say you were more A, entertaining and often humorous, B, clear and concise, C, speak relatively quickly, or D, you're direct, specific and sometimes quite loud? Okay. That one is quite a difficult one if you've never been in that situation, but maybe think outside the box a little bit. How would you feel if you were in that situation? A lot of people feel intimidated because it's something new they've done, and that's normal. Okay. I think everybody gets those doubts. Okay. So, question 9. When a friend or someone is explaining a problem to you, do you try to understand and empathise how they are feeling? Do you B, look for the specific facts pertaining to the situation? Do you C, listen carefully for the main issue to find a solution? Or use body language and a tone of voice to show that you're understanding and show that you understand her situation or their situation? Okay. Number 10. When you attend training programs or presentations, again, if you've done any training for work, gym training, anything, could be anything in your personal life, it doesn't have to be about work, but we choose that one because most people spend most of their lives at work, so it's always a good place to start. You A, get bored if the person moves too slowly. B, you try to be supportive of the speaker because you know the job is hard. C, you want to be entertaining as well as informative. And D, you look for logic behind what the speaker is saying. Okay. Feel free if you think, oh, I want to be that, but I'm actually this. Feel free to tell me that as well, because we can work with that. It's easy to change little things, but it does take time. And you have to be persistent, you have to practice. It doesn't just come straight away. But if you take the time, you'll realise, actually, this has happened quite quickly. So at first it seems slow, but when you get there, you're like, how fast did that happen? Okay, so number 11. When you want to get your point across to someone, family member, friend, co-worker, do you listen to their point first and then express your ideas gently? B, you strongly state your opinion so that you know where they stand and where you stand? Do you try to persuade them without being too forceful? Or D, do you explain thinking and logic behind what you're saying? Okay. Thank you. Okay, number 12, we're nearly done. It's it's been quite a long first session. I hope it's not felt too intimidating and you've not thought too much about the answers. You just let it flow naturally. I think with the responses that I've been getting from you, the little added bits, it shows that, yeah, you just answered honestly, which is what we need. Okay, so when you are late for a meeting or appointment, do you panic but call ahead so they know you'll be a few minutes late? Do you feel bad about keeping other people waiting? Do you get very upset and rush around to get there as soon as possible? Or D, do you apologise profusely when you arrive? Okay. And so number 13. Do you set goals and objectives at work or in life that are realistic to attain? That's A. B is feel that are challenging and would be exciting to achieve. C, a need to achieve a part of a bigger objective. And D, will make you feel good once you've achieved them. So out of those 4, when you're setting goals, what are your main thoughts? Okay. And number 14, when explaining a problem to a co-worker that needs help from you, do you explain the problem in as much detail as possible? Do you sometimes exaggerate to make your point? Just going to switch over the paper. Do you try and explain the problem? Do you try to explain how the problem makes you feel? And lastly, do you explain how you'd like the problem to be solved? Okay. Okay, and when you see a family member, co-worker, friend that you haven't seen in a long time, do you A, give them a friendly hug, B, greet them but don't shake their hand, C, give them a firm, quick handshake, or D, give them an enthusiastic handshake that lasts a few minutes? Okay, so that's the end of the questions there. Now I'm just going to go through what you answered and what we do. So the amount of answers that were A, the amount of answers that were B, the amount of answers that were C, and the amount of answers that were D. I'm now going to count those up, put them in sections. The ones you have more of are your personality trait, and I will work with that. Okay. Would you like to know your results? Okay, I will give you a sheet of paper that you can read through later, but in the session we don't discuss it until the next session. If you wish, we allow you to take it home and think it over first. Okay? It's a bit of homework if you like, but you don't have to do it, only if you feel comfortable. So, A, if you answered more A's, that would mean that you're a driver. That means you're formal, fast acting, decisive, results orientated and competitive, likes short, frequent updates, plans carefully, they're assertive, allow them to be in control, and dislikes inefficiency and indecisions. So that's a driver. if you are B, that means you're an expressive personality, which means you're optimistic, likes to participate and be involved, outgoing, enthusiastic, good at motivating, dislikes complexity and details, interacts well with others at work, spontaneous and fun-loving, likes to be acknowledged, can fear being ignored and rejected. Okay. So much paperwork. Now if you answered C, more, then that would mean you're analytical. And that means detailed and consistent, asks a lot of questions, which isn't a bad thing, analytical and good at problem solving, logical and factual, not particularly interested in leading, avoids group work, tends to work alone, likes organisation and structure, likes things written down, and focuses on tasks rather than the person. And if you're amiable, if you answered D and you're amiable, that means you are friendly and relates well to others, good at listening and teamwork, dislikes conflict and risks, they're considerate, empathetic and caring, takes their time to make decisions, they're calm and relaxed, they listen, they like to be given time to raise concerns, they prefer instructions rather than being the decision maker, and they want to be respected, liked and approved of. So take that with you. We will just touch on strengths and potential weaknesses of these types of personalities. I'm not going to go into too much depth, but it's just so you have something to work with if you wanted to just make slight changes in how you react to things. Okay, now like I say, you don't have to. This is a steady process, and you do what you're comfortable with in your own time. So, the strengths of analytical. They're thinking, thorough and disciplined. The potential weaknesses are excludes feelings and decisions, goes too far, and a bit of a perfectionist, which I don't think that's a bit of a weakness, but you can't ever become perfect. So if you constantly work at one thing just to get it perfect, it can sometimes be a waste of time. But it's just a potential weakness. Don't take that too thorough. And too rigid or demanding of themselves or others. Okay, so they have a structure and they want to stick to it. They don't allow anyone else to have an opinion. It's their way or the highway. And amiable. They're supportive, patient and diplomatic. Tends to conform with wishes of others. No time boundaries. Things do not get done. So they're a little bit sluggish. They prefer to take their time and things just don't get done effectively and quick enough. And they're not assertive and direct. And sometimes people need to have a bit of direction, because otherwise they don't listen to you. And driver, this is they're independent, they're decisive and they're determined. So they have trouble operating with others, does not take time to consider other people's perspectives, and they're domineering, too focused on doing it their way. and expressive. So if you're expressive, you are a good communicator, you're enthusiastic and imaginative. And potential weaknesses, they talk too much, they come on a bit too strong, and they're a bit of a dreamer and unrealistic. I think that sounds like me. Okay. So, you know my personality traits, I know yours, and that's today's session done. Thank you so much for attending, and your paperwork will be at reception with your times. I think you have an option of 3 time slots on 3 different days, so if you could please let us know what days you're available 3 days before the session, just so we can book it in, move anyone we need to if you don't have a couple that you're okay to attend to. If you only have one, we can struggle a bit, so please give us those 3 days notice. Okay. Again, it was lovely to meet you. Thank you very much. Good luck. Have a lovely week, and I'll look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Bye bye.